Hello, just bringing you the latest news from Stocks Reservoir. A fishing report starting from the 7th of May coming up to today, the 12th of May. So Tuesday the 7th of May, we just had the one boat out. It had Bob Fitzpatrick in it. He headed up to the northern shallows and the buoy line there. He had a floating line set up with an olive booby on the point and dial backs on the droppers. He ended up with a total of 17 fish. Now you might think he was fishing nicely, sat there twiddling away, but no, he turned to the dark arts. He was covering rising fish and fast roly-polying past them, getting them to turn and chase, and some of them were hitting the dials and some of them were hitting the olive boobies. Great angling there, Bob. I'm going to skip through to Thursday because Wednesday was a very quiet day. On Thursday, Steve Smalley and Bob Cooper also on the washing line. It's kind of been a bit of a week of the washing line this week. They had 24 fish to their boat, fishing boobies with buzzers on the droppers. Now they even ended up ginking up their boobies just to keep their buzzers so high in the water. They found that if they allowed them to sink any depth at all, then they stopped catching. So ginked up boobies, buzzers in the middle, covering rising fish again, which there's been absolutely tons of this week, and a tally of 24 fish. Now Steve's catch also included a lovely 6-pound rainbow as well. Also out on the boats that day, fishing a combination of washing lines and dries, was Steve Bland. He ended up with 9 fish to his boat from the same area. Great angling there, good fishing. We've got so many insects on the water at the moment, all round the margins, over the marginal farmland behind me. We've got hawthorn flies just holding in the wind. The breeze is blowing those onto the water. They're being joined by beetles as well. And we've got emerging chironomids and buzzers, or chironomid buzzers, coming off at the same time. So Friday, I'm calling this the Battle of the Washing Lines. That's because we had Derek Moore in one boat drifting New Close Bay and the buoy line, and we had Peter Andrews in another boat drifting the same area. They both got midge-tip lines on, they both got buzzers and dialbacks on the droppers, and they both got various boobies on the point, twiddling away on the washing line. Derek ended the day with 15 fish to his boat, and Peter Andrews ended with one more, just 16 to his boat. So it was great angling, both on midge tips, as I say. On the shore it was good as well, washing lining again. Andy Hargreaves took 10 fish on tequila blob boobies on the washing line. Said there was loads of fish rising off Bell Point there. Now yesterday, this is up to the 11th of May, we had 2 gatherings on the water. The first was Stuart Halford and his gang with the annual Mal de Mer competition, and that saw 18 anglers take 9 boats out onto the water, and between them they caught a total of 51 fish. It was a really changeable day yesterday. We got a little bit of everything. We got some heavy showers, we got some squally winds coming through, ended up with really quite a windy afternoon. And it changed a little bit from New Close Bay and the buoy line to the hot spots being the East Bank, right from the dam up past the Alders up to Halstead's Hike, and on the far side of the reservoir from Blackhouse Bay right up to Curry's Cast and along. Their top rod was Chris Skerritt. He had 12 fish. He had a tequila blob booby on the top dropper, a small bibio snatcher on the next dropper, a little dial back on the next dropper, and a Viva booby on the point. So a 4-fly cast with a booby at either end, holding them right up in that film, and he caught most of his fish by covering them and twiddling them past. And all those fish certainly had a choice of different patterns that they could take there. Second place was Stuart Halford. He was also on a midge-tip line with a blob on the top, dial on the middle, and a cat booby on the point. He caught most of his fish from the Alders and the East Bank down there. So 2 very similar methods coming to the front there. We also saw Melvin Wood, which is always a pleasure, with Leeds Fly Dressers Guild. 13 anglers took to the water on the boats there. Melvin snapped his stop button off his engine, so spent most of the day rowing his boat partner back up and down the drifts until I came out to sort him out. They had 13 anglers caught 35 fish, and their top rod was Bob Wiley with 8 fish. He fished a damsel on the point with buzzers on the droppers, again down towards the dam, up to Halstead's Hike, all along that east bank. That's where he took those from. And closely Following him was Richard Wilson with 7 fish. He was washing lining behind Gull Island. And that brings us through to today, Sunday the 12th of May. And there's been a bit of a change today. It's bright, much warmer, light breeze with large calm areas, and I think it's swung towards the dries a little bit, away from the washing line. We had Derek Allwood. He came up from the dam, taking 5 fish all off the top on small shipman's buzzers. His catch included an absolutely belting 3-pound blue that ran him on a merry dance down there. That's great fishing, Derek, well done. And out on the boats, Steve Bland's just come in. He's had 7 fish, all taking dry beetles off the top, and he tried various dries up round Curry's Cast and the boulders before he realised it was beetles that they were taking. But they have actually got a lot to choose from on that surface. There's all sorts of flies, especially in the calm areas off the east bank. So hopefully dries are the things of the future for the next few days. We've still got quite a lot of boats out. I know that Derek Moore's really started to get amongst them out there as well on his boat. I presume he's on either dries or the washing line, not sure. So fishing really well. The rod average over the last 6 days has been 4.1. And whilst that includes some really high scores, it shows that it's not just as easy as it may seem. You do have to work for these fish. So 4-point rod average, dries coming on, washing lines working, damsels working too. Look forward to seeing you up here.